I'm going to do a little bit of an explanation of this Unit 1.4 activity analyzing functions. Today you're going to have a team where you're going to have two functions to analyze. Each of you will prepare one large page graph, and I've included that. We just have one page that's this. I'm not going to, let's see. You can see this whole page here. There's your large page graph, and that's in the packet that will be given to you. And your group, you will be in a group of, I'll tell you in a second how many people. You're going to, here's the main part of this. Your function is going to be clearly written. You're going to have a t-table of your function, and I'll go through an example of that. We're going to graph your function on a full-page graph paper. That's what I just showed you. And then you're going to answer these questions. Does your function have any minimum or maximum points? Does your graph have x or y intercepts? X is when it crosses the x-axis, y is when it crosses, or where it crosses the y-axis. For what x values does your graph look like it is increasing and decreasing? Okay, so you are going to choose one from A, from family A, and you're going to choose one from family function B. So you're going to do one from each of those. And let's see here. Good. I'm just going to do an example of one real quick that here is an example. Here's how this is going to work. I should be using pencil right now because we're in math class. Let me switch over to pencil. Let's go ahead and grab a function. Here's one that you guys don't get to do. It's going to be this one right here, y equals negative x squared plus 4. And so you guys don't get to choose that one because I'm doing it for you. Now here's the part that I think is going to be most confusing. And here are the x values that you're going to plug in your t-table. So we've got the negative x is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 5. All that means is I want a t-table. It's going to be a pretty big t-table. You've got a lot of time in class to do it, so I'm expecting you to go ahead and do this whole thing. What this means here is I'm going to have negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0. I'm going to extend my t-table. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you're going to have this extra long t-table here that you're going to show all of your work for. And then you're going to plug this in to find your values. And I'll just do a couple of these. So I'm going to have y equals negative. I'm going to start with negative 5 squared plus 4. Negative 5 squared is positive 25. And then I've got this negative that's still hanging out here. So I've got negative 25. Positive 25 times negative is negative 25 plus 4. Negative 25 plus 4 is negative 21. So when x is negative 5, y is negative 21. And I'm just going to keep going down through all of these and find all my y values. And then I'm going to plot these. This graph paper that I have created is only 15 by 15, so this guy's not going to get onto the graph paper, and that's totally fine. The rest of these, I think, will 14. Yeah, the rest of these should fit, except for this one down here at the bottom. That won't fit either. And 16 plus 4, that won't fit either, but there's just a couple that won't fit. Fill out the whole graph, and then, or the whole chart, and then you plot all of the points that will fit on your graph. And then you analyze, you answer these questions right here. I also want to get one started from the B, because this one has a square root, and I want to look at, we'll do this one right here. So I've got y equals the square root of x plus 1. Notice these are both underneath the radical. Over here, you've got the square root of x plus 2. This square root, you take the square root, then you add 2 to it. Here, you're going to add these two and then take the square root. You can use the calculators on the wall. You just need to put them back because I haven't labeled them all yet. For this one, your x and y values for the B family are negative 4 through 10, which means you've got to go negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You've got to do all of those values. Again, you can use the calculator on the wall. You just got to put it back. Okay. And then let's go ahead and do this one real quick. All right, so square root of -4 plus 1, that gives me the square root of -3. You put that in your calculator and it's going to give you some kind of error. This ends up being an imaginary number. So if you've got a negative up here, you've got, for now, we'll just say, wouldn't be no solution is not really accurate, but does not exist, something like that. So you won't have a y value for this. You won't have a y value for this. If this is negative in here, it's an imaginary number. And so you won't have a y value for it. You do have one for all of these numbers, and depending on what you have over here, you're going to have still y values for a bunch of these other numbers. So let's say, like for 8, if I plug in 8 plus 1, then that gives me 9, square root of 9, which is 3. So y equals 3. When x is 8, y is 3. So we do have some coordinate pairs that we can plot on this graph. And I think that sufficiently gives you a head start on how to get into this. You're going to be in groups. So you can help each other out. You can take turns. You can help each other plug in these values and get the right answers for your t-table. All right, good luck.